Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to your own channel. So today we will start with a new chapter, and your chapter is chapter number 5. That is acids, bases, and salts. So students, remember one thing, that this chapter will be helpful in class 7th as well as in class 10th also. But in class 10, you will study about this chapter in a wide way. But in class 7, you will have to learn the base of all this chapter. And in class 7, many students are facing so many difficulties because this chapter is new to them, very much new to them. So that's why I'm here to bring this chapter with you. Today, I will explain the acids part of this chapter. But firstly, we will start with the introduction of all these parts. What is acid, what is base, and what are salts. So now see, as in our day-to-day life, we are using so many edible parts. Okay, edible parts in the sense, what we can say, edible means which are eatable, edible part. Okay, and that edible part, sometimes it tastes which it can say, we can say that sour, sometimes it tastes sour, sometimes we can say the taste is bitter in taste, bitter means kadwa. Okay, sour means khatta. And sometimes we can say that thing is sweet in nature. Sweet means meetha. Okay. The sour, bitter, and sweet. So on the basis of this, we can identify the things as acids, bases, as well as we can say salts. On the basis of this only. So the thing or the substances, like if I'm talking about the example lemon juice. Lemon means nimbu. Lemon juice if we are talking about. Okay. And if we are talking about orange or orange juice, we can say orange. These are sour in taste. How these are? These are sour in taste. Vinegar is there. Vinegar taste is also sour. So any substance which are sour in nature, we can say sour in nature. Sour means khatta. Okay. Which are sour in nature, then that are known as your acids. That are known as your acids. Maximum we will learn in this chapter more about it. After that, the chemical nature which shows the nature of this substance. We can say the chemical nature of the substance, like this is sour. So this is the chemical nature of this substance. This property is chemical nature is sour of this substance. Then that property shows that the substance is acidic in nature. Acidic in nature. So acids are those which are sour in taste, but the chemical nature of such substances like lemon juice, orange, that chemical properties are known as acidic. Okay, so acid words are taken from the Latin word. And what is that Latin word? That is known as your acre. A-C-E-R-A. E. Acre. Acre means we can say it is so. What is the meaning of acre? Acre means so. Okay. So we can say the fruit which is are sour in nature, or we can say the substances which are sour in nature, then that is known as what? Acidic nature. Then that are known as your acidic nature. Similarly, we are talking about many more acids in between. So in that case, we talk about the name of any acid like nitric acid. Nitric acid, and we can say concentrated acid like HCl, like H2SO4. HCl means hydrochloric acid. We will learn about it. HCl, H2SO4, H2SO4. These are known as the acids which cause severe bonds, means which if it falls on the part of our skin, okay, on any part of our skin, it can cause a severe burns. And the concentrated part, we can say this HCl, H2SO4, if we are talking about, we can talk about the concentrated part. So concentrated part of this HCl and H2SO4 always gives us the severe bonds. So concentrated means in which the dilution part is not there. Less amount of dilution is there. And what do you mean by the term dilution? Dilution means beta. Dilution means having the quantity of water in it. Acid plus water, we can say that is known as dilution. If we are having the dilute part, then that does not cause maximum Savary burns. But if we are having the concentrated part like HCl, H2SO4, it causes Savary burns. That's why we are, if we have to do any of the chemical reaction, we will have to be very careful in doing this chemical reaction. I hope I make you understand about the acid. Okay, but in details we will study afterward. Now only. Okay, but now the next thing is bitter. Bitter means the bases. Okay, the bases which are not sour in taste. The bases which can say which are bitter in taste. When you rub with your finger, it feel soapy in nature. Soapy means like a sabun, like a soap. Okay, when you touch it, it feels like a soapy. So these type of substances are known as what? Bases. But we can say it is known as bases. So bases are bitter in taste as well as it feels soapy in nature. So the chemical nature of all these substances, these type of substances are known as its basic property. What we can say it is known as its basic property. Okay, so now come to the more part of our acid. Anyone wants to note down, please you can note it down. I'm giving you once or 2 seconds. Please note it down. So I hope that you all have noted down. Now we will study about some more. You have learned all this, but for learning, I am making you I am making you understand about some of the mnemonic part, how to learn this mnemonic part in this. So now listen to me carefully. A, C, L, O forms ascode. ACLO forms ascode. कल से फिर hydroxide. Okay, what is the meaning of this mnemonics? ACLO forms ascode. कल से फिर hydroxide. This A stand for your acetic acid. This A stand for your acetic acid. So this acetic acid is acidic in nature. So we can say it is always found in which? Vinegar. It is always found in vinegar. Okay. Next one is known as your C. C stand for your citric acid. C stand for your citric acid. And it is always found in the fruits like oranges or lemons. In the fruits. Okay. Next one is your L. L stand for your lactic acid. But we can say it is found in lactic acid. And it is found in the curd. In which substance it is found? It is found always in the curd. Okay. Next one is known as your O. O stand for your oxalic acid. What is O? O stand for your oxalic acid. And this oxalic acid is always found in the spinach. Palak, I have told you before also, spinach. Form F. This F become your formic acid. Formic acid. This formic acid is always found in stain. Okay. In this S code, we are having two meaning. This S and this T. Two part is there. This S code. AS stand for your ascorbic. AS stand for your ascorbic acid. And this ascorbic acid is always found in amla and citrus fruits. Amla and citrus fruits. Okay. And what is this T? T is also known as your tartaric acid. What is T? Tartaric acid. Okay. And what is this tartaric acid? Tartaric acid always found in tamarind. Tamarind, sorry, not tamarind, it's tamarind. Okay, tamarind, grapes, and raw mangoes, etc. Grapes and raw mangoes, etc. The next one is A, this A. Again, this A is known as your ammonium hydroxide. From here, we are having the bases. From here. Okay, this is known as your ammonium hydroxide. Okay, and this is found in the we can say glass cleaners. The substance which we are using in the in cleaning the glass is known as your ammonium hydroxide only. Next one is your calcium hydroxide, Ca. Ca stand for your calcium hydroxide. CaOH whole twice is the formula for your calcium hydroxide. It always makes a lime water milky. Means it is always found in lime water. That calcium hydroxide. Say means S. S stand for your sodium. S stand for your sodium. We can say sodium hydroxide. We can say P stand for your potassium hydroxide. Either we can say sodium or we can say potassium. Both are having the same function. So sodium means Na, potassium means K. So if it mixes with sodium hydroxide, then we can say it becomes NaOH. And when it mixes with potassium hydroxide, then it becomes KOH, potassium hydroxide. So sodium and potassium hydroxide both are found in soap solution. I hope you learn this mnemonic part. ACLO forms ascord, कल से फिर hydroxide. Okay, so you will have to learn this table. I hope that you by this method you will be able to learn this in an easier manner. Okay, so these hydroxide, what we are telling about this hydroxide. Now we will I'm erasing this part as we move further also. Now what do you mean by this hydroxide part? Okay, so this hydroxide is always found, or we can say these hydroxide are always known as alkalis also, or we can say alkalis. Alkalis are basically known as base in nature, alkalis. Okay, so we can say alkali itself mean ash. What do you mean by this alkali? Alkali means ash. When there are oxides of metals like calcium oxide, sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, or we can say potassium. So these hydroxide react with acid and neutralize them. We will study about the neutralization reaction now after this acid in the next class. So these are known as something we can say a basic introduction of these acids and bases and salts. Now come to the next part, that is known as your natural indicator. What is the next topic? That is known as your natural indicators. What do you mean by this natural indicators? From the name itself, you are able to know about this natural indicator. Natural means which are formed in nature. Our indicators means which tells us that whether the substance is acidic in nature or basic in nature. Acidic or basic in nature. Okay, the natural things are the substances which are found in nature. And what do you mean by basic or acidic? That are known as your indicators, which tells us about which indicate us about the indication that whether the substance is acidic or basic in nature. So without tasting, without taste, everything, we are not able to indicate the nature of the chemical substances. Okay, so the substances which tells us about the acidic or basic nature are known as your indicators. Okay, so how we can check it out? Like turmeric is there, natural indicator. We can say turmeric, haldi. Everyone has seen. Okay, at your home. Litmus, we get from the tree called lichen. Lichen tree is there. Okay, so from lichens we are getting this litmus, as well as we can say China rose petals. Everyone has seen the China rose. China rose petals. These are the natural indicators which tells us whether the substance are acidic or basic nature. Okay, so these are known as your natural indicators. So we can say this litmus, because this word is very much new to you all. Litmus is the commonly occurring indicators, we can say, commonly occurring indicator, which tells us that whether the substance is acidic or basic in nature. How we can check it out? We are having the two litmus paper like this. One is this. One is the red litmus paper. I'm not drawing the fully part red. Okay. And the other one is known as your basic part. Basic is always blue in color. Okay. This is blue in color. So we can say that litmus is extracted from the lichen word. And if suppose we are having the substance, okay, in this beaker, like we are having the solution. 2 beakers are there. 3 beakers I'm taking. Okay. In this we are having base, NaOH. In this we are having acid, that will be HCl. In this we are having salt, NaOH. NaCl, sorry. Salt is NaCl. What is the name of that salt? NaCl. We will study more about this NaCl. Now what happened? When we dip this litmus paper in NaOH solution with base. Okay, with base. This litmus color of red, this red color of this litmus paper gets converted into blue. Red color gets converted into blue. Why it converted into blue? Because this solution is what? Basic in nature. What we can say? Basic in nature. If the substance or solution is basic in nature, then the litmus color gets changed into red to blue. But when we put this red litmus paper into HCl, again, now I put the red litmus paper into HCl, red. Okay, there will be no any change in this HCl solution because HCl itself is known as your acid. Okay, and this red litmus paper is also known for the acidic nature. Okay, so in acidic nature, the litmus paper color did not change. So it remains as it is. Similarly, in the case of the salt also, because salt is neutral in nature. But now if we are taking the blue litmus paper, now if I'm taking the blue litmus paper, if I am putting this blue litmus paper in NaOH solution, NaOH is known as basic in nature, basic. And blue color is also known for the base. Okay. So now if blue color substance, if blue color litmus paper dip into your basic solution, then it did not change its color. Its color remains the same, that is blue in nature. But if we put this blue litmus paper in the HCl, hydrochloric acid, then it converts blue into red color. It converts blue into red color. And it forms which nature? Acidic nature. It forms acidic nature because in acid only the blue litmus paper gets converted into red. In salt, there is no any change in the color because of the neutralization process that we will study afterward. Okay, so these are known as your indicators. I hope that I have made you all clarify about this. So there are two types of indicators we can say. One, so you have studied about this, that is a natural indicator. Other one, you will understand about the synthetic indicators. What is the next one? Next one is known as your synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators. What do you mean by synthetic indicators, beta? Synthetic indicators are those indicators which are made in laboratories, means which we are making in labs, which we are using in labs. That are known as your synthetic indicators. In the synthetic indicators, we will learn about the indicator name that is known as your phenolphthalein. I know this word is very much new to you all. Phenolphthalein. Spelling is PHENOL PHALEIN, phenolphthalein. You know this phenolphthalein, firstly it is of colorless color. Okay, it is colorless in nature. We can say when we put this phenolphthalein indicator in base, NaOH, in base, what we are talking about base, then its color changes. It's a magical color. We get the color of purple pink. What we can say? We get the color of our purple pink, or you can say dark pink. Okay, when the phenolphthalein is added into NaOH. But when the phenolphthalein is added into acid, then we can't get any color. It is colorless. Okay, so we can say that in base, it gives up dark pink, or we can say purple pink color. But in acid, it is what? Colorless in nature. It is colorless in nature. Okay. The second indicator is known as your methyl orange. What is the second indicator? Methyl orange. Now this word is also new to you. Methyl orange. So methyl orange is basically orange in color. But we can say it is always basically in orange color. So this orange color, when react with acid, it always give the pink color. It always give the pink color. But when it react with your base, then it always give yellow color. Which color it will give? Yellow color. So you will have to remember that when phenolphthalein is added to base, it gives the pink color. When phenolphthalein is added to acid, it gives colorless color. When methyl orange is added to the acidic, then it gives pink color. When methyl orange is added into the base, then it will give yellow color. Okay, so we are having the, these are the indicators. So two type of indicators we have studied. What are the two type of indicators? Synthetic indicator, as well as we can say it is a natural indicator. Okay, now the next one is the type of acid. What are the types of acid? Types of acids. Okay, there are two type of acid mainly we have to study. What are the two type of acid? First one is known as minerals or laboratory acids. We can say minerals or laboratory acids. Okay, what do you mean by minerals and or laboratory acids? So mineral acid or laboratory acids are found in the laboratories. Like we can talk about HCl, hydrochloric acid. We will talk about nitric acid, which are concentrated in nature, nitric acid. Okay, or we can say sulfuric acid, which we are using in labs only, which we are not using in our day-to-day life. Okay, these are known as your mineral acid. Okay, but if we are talking about the second type of acid, that is known as your organic acid. What is the next part? That is known as your organic acids. Okay, organic acids are the acid which we found in our home also. Like we can say citric acid. Now only I have told you about citric acid. Next one is known as your acetic acid. Next is lactic acid. In curd, we found this lactic acid. So these are known as the organic acids that are present in nature and that we are getting from the plants or animal materials. So these type of acids are known as your organic acids. I think I have made myself clear to you that mineral acids are those acids which we are using in the labs. Okay, only, and organic acids are those acids which we can say that is found in the nature or at our homes and that are found from the animals or plants product. Okay, So there are some of the properties of acids, we can say. Properties of acids. So what are the properties of acids? First property we have studied, that acids are always taste sour in nature. Okay, acids are always taste sour in nature. What is the next one? Next one is known as acids are very corrosive. What do you mean by corrosive? What do you mean by corrosive? Corrosive means jung lagna. When they are corrosive, when it is in concentrated nature. When concentrated in nature. Concentrated का meaning बताया था बेटा मैंने आपको. Concentrated means that when there is a less amount of water, dilution part is very, very less, then we can say that acid becomes corrosive in nature. Next is acids always converts blue litmus paper into red litmus paper. This also I have told you. Acid always convert the blue litmus paper into red color. Next one is acids are very much water soluble. Acids are very much water soluble. Have you seen the curd? When you put the curd in water to make lassi, yes or no? Or chach, we can say that it is water soluble. That's why we can say that acids are water soluble in nature. As well as we can say acids the conduct, all soluble acid conduct electricity, which we can say all soluble acid conduct electricity. It will conduct the electricity also. How it will conduct? Let's do one of the activity at your home. Okay, you will have to take a lemon, or you can take a potato also. You can put the 2 iron nails in it. Okay, and you will have to take one of the smallest bulb on the 2 iron nails. You will see that this bulb starts glowing. Okay, so from this we can say this lemon which is an acid, it can also conduct the electricity also. Okay, it also conduct the electricity also. The next property we are having is, what is the next property? Next property is somewhat different, that acid when react with base. This you have to learn. Only general formula you will learn it. If you learn this general formula, then easily you can learn each and everything. Acid when react with base will give you salt plus water. What I am saying, acid when react with base, it always gives salt plus water to you. Okay, what are acids? Acid I am taking, suppose we are taking HCl, hydrochloric acid. Base I am taking, suppose NaOH. Any acid, any base you can take, general formulas. Okay, so this is the general formula that we have to learn. HCl plus NaOH gives salt plus water. What is salt? Salt is always known as NaCl. And how this NaCl form? Say this. This Na react with the Cl. Okay, it forms NaCl, which is called salt. Which is called salt. Plus, after that, what we get? 2H. Here we are having 2H, H2, and oxygen is there. O. So we can say H2O. So acid when react with base, it always form salt plus water. What is this HCl now? HCl is known as your hydrochloric acid. What we can say this? This is known as your hydrochloric acid. What is this NaOH? NaOH is known as your sodium. Na stand for your sodium and OH stand for your hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. Similarly, if we talk about this NaCl, NaCl stand for your sodium chloride. What we can say, it is known as sodium chloride plus water. Plus water. Instead of HCl, you can take any other example of acid also. Okay, instead of base NaOH, you can take any other example also. But generally, In some of the cases up to class 7, if you remember this HCl and NaOH as an acid or base, it will be easier for you to learn these reactions. Okay. The next property is, what is the next property we are having? The next property is known as your, when the acids react with carbonates. Acids react with carbonates. What it gives? When acid react with carbonate, it gives salt plus water plus carbon dioxide gas. What we can say? Acid when react with carbonates, it always gives salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. How we can say? See, acids, I am taking again the example of acid is HCl. What is the example of acid? HCl. Carbonate, we can take calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, anything. Zinc carbonate you can take. So basic example, we are taking calcium carbonate, CaCO3. This is the formula for your calcium metal carbonate, we can say, or calcium carbonate. Now how this forms? This Ca react with the Cl. What we can say? Ca react with Cl. But the formula for CaCl is, salt is CaCl2. This is the formula for your calcium chloride. What is the formula for calcium chloride? Calcium chloride is also a kind of salt, we can say. So calcium chloride formula is 2. Now how to balance this? Remember this. This is Cl2. What we can say? This is Cl2. Cl2. Okay. And here we are having only Cl. On the left hand side, see, this left hand side is always known as your reactant. I'm telling you, this is always known as your reactant. Left hand side is always known as reactant, and the right hand side form, whatever we get, that is known as your product. But it is known as your product. So on the reactant side, we are having only one Cl. We are having only Cl, left hand side and right hand side. I'm writing here. On left hand side, Cl is 1. On right hand side, we are having 2 Cl. So we will have to balance it. How we will balance it? We will multiply this HCl by 2. So that after multiplying this HCl by 2, we get H is also 2 in nature and Cl is also 2 in nature. Cl also having the 2 molecules and H is also having the 2 molecules of hydrogen. Okay. Plus, now tell me that on the reactant side, how many H's are there? Now only I have told you H are having 2. How many H are there? 2. So can we write here H2 and 1 oxygen can I borrow from this carbonate? O3. I am taking 1 oxygen from this. Okay. Now what is left with us? Plus 1 carbon is left with us. This carbon C. And after taking 1 oxygen, we are having 2 oxygen here. So we can say it is CO2. So this is our formula. When the acid react with carbonate, it forms salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. Acids we have taken HCl. Carbonates we have taken CaCO3. When they react with each other, it forms salt. Salt means which is known as your CaCl2 plus water plus CO2. And firstly, we will have to balance it. So for balancing, we will have to multiply this HCl by 2. I hope I have made myself clear to you. The next and the last property of the acids are, what are the next and the last property of acids? The next and the last property is when the metal reacts with acid, they always give salt plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. What I'm saying, metal when react with acid, it always give salt plus hydrogen gas. Metal, I'm taking the example of metal as a sodium, Na. HCl acid. What I am getting? Salt. Salt means Na react with Cl. What we get? NaCl plus H2 gas. But for the H2 gas on the right hand side, on the product side, we are having 2H. Okay. But on the left hand side, we are having only 1H. So how we will do the balancing now? If I multiply this Cl by 2, this HCl by 2, what I am getting? 2H, so I got it from here. But here from here, we are having 2Cl. We are having 2Cl. So what we have to do? On the right hand side also, we have to multiply it by 2. Yes or no? Because on the left hand side, we are having 2Cl. Okay. For making it balancing on the both the sides, what we have to do? We will have to multiply this NaCl with 2, so that we will have both side 2Cl. But now one problem also comes. Now if this Cl become 2, this Na is also becoming 2. So what we have to do? We will have to multiply this Na by 2 also, so that our equation is balanced. Okay. Now if I'm taking about the example of Mg, metal is Mg. Again, acid is HCl. What is the formula? The formula for the salt is MgCl2. Magnesium chloride are always having the formula MgCl2 plus hydrogen gas is H2. Now again we are having 2Cl and 2H. So what we have to do? We have to only multiply 2 with HCl. Now on the left hand side we are having 2H and 2Cl. Similarly on the right hand side 2Cl and 2H. So these are known as the properties of your acids. I hope that I have made you all these clear, because these are very, very, very important things according to your 10th class also, as well as according to your competitive exams also, Olympiad exams also. Okay, so the last part of the acid is left, that are known as the uses of acid. What we can say? Uses of acids. Okay, so in the uses of acid, as we know that we are using so many acids in our laboratories, so we will learn about those type of acids. First one is known as your nitric acid. What is the first one? Nitric acid. Okay, so in the nitric acid, if we are talking about the nitric acid, this nitric acid is also used in the preparation of fertilizers such as ammonium nitrate. Okay, now only I have told you what do you mean by ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrates are NH4OH, because we are having the nitrogen also in this case. Okay, so that is known as your what? That is known as your ammonium hydroxide. So, or we can say ammonium hydroxide, we can say this thing. Okay, so nitric acid is always used in the preparation of fertilizer. But we can use this nitric acid in the formation of what? Fertilizer. Okay, fertilizers such as we can say ammonium nitrate fertilizers, as well as we can say these are used in the manufacture of explosives, like bombs, explosives are there. Okay, and in that explosive we can take the example of trinitrotoluene, that you will study in your higher classes about TNT. That is known as trinitrotoluene. Okay, as well as it can be used in the manufacturing of chemicals like dyes. We can use this thing. Nitric acid we can use in the form of dyes also. Okay, beta. So first one is the nitric acid, and nitric acids are used in the preparation of fertilizers such as ammonium nitrate. Second one is known as it is used in the manufacturing of explosives such as trinitrotoluene. Third one is it is used in the manufacturing of chemicals such as making dyes. This is the first use of an acid, that is nitric acid. The next one is known as your, what is the next one we are having? The next one is known as your sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. What do you mean by sulfuric acid? Sulfuric acid is always known as H2SO4 and nitric acid is known as your HNO3. Okay, sulfuric acid is your H2SO4. It is always used in the production of gasoline. Okay, gasoline, fertilizers. In the easiest way you can learn, fertilizers. After fertilizers, chemicals, paints, batteries, etc. Batteries, etc. Okay, next one is, we can say it acts as a dehydrating agent, in which we can say hydrogen amount, water amount is less. Dehydrating agents, in that also we can use this sulfuric acid. Next one is, it is always used in the toothpaste also. It can use in the toothpastes. We can say rubbers, etc. That sulfuric acid is always used in the manufacturing of these things. Okay. The next thing is, what is the next part? The next part is known as your hydrochloric acid, which is known as your HCl. These are some of the uses that you have to learn. Okay, this hydrochloric acid used to remove rust from steel. If we use this HCl, then we can remove this rust from the steel part. Okay, but don't use it in the as a bare hand. Okay, मतलब अपने नंगे हाथों से नहीं आपने यूज करना. You will have to either use the gloves also, or you can use the pair of tongs also. Okay, tongs as a we can say अपने अभी अपने किचन में देखा होगा चिमटा, which we can say that type of tongs are there in our laboratory. It is also called the we can say type of scissors. Okay, pair of scissors also we can say, which is used to hold something. Next is hydrochloric acid. We can say it is used in bleaching powder also for we can say cleaning the clothes, bleaching powder for dyeing the clothes. Okay, leather processing also, skin polishing also we can use the HCl. Similarly, it can be used in the chlorides. It can be used in the photography, industrial, we can say rubber industries. We can use all these HCl in their part, in that part. And the last one is known as your acetic acid. Acetic acid. Acetic acid के बारे में मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया था. These are used in your inks, your dyes, your textiles dyes, or we can say fixer in photography. Photography में भी आपका acetic acid use होता है. Photography. Okay, as a fixers in photography, we can say it can be used to test the blood, test blood samples. That is used in your acetic acid in laboratories, and it is also used as preservative. Preservative जो आप pickles वगैरह में डालते हैं as a उसको store करने के लिए in pickles, used as a preservative in pickles. Due to this acetic acid only, this pickles will remain safe at your home. So these are some of the uses of your acids. And in the last but not the least, I'm stopping my video with the last topic, that is acid rain. Acid rain. See, all of you have learned about this acid rain. And acid rain are very much harmful in nature. So because it contains the compound of carbon, sulfur, ammonia, we can say, ammonia, or we can say nitrogen, etc. Nitrogen, etc. Okay, so when these compounds react with the oxides, it always form carbon dioxide, or we can say sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So that dioxide part, sulfur dioxide, we can say SO2, it always mixes with that rain, and when it comes to the earth, then what happens? It always produces the extremely, we can say it is harmful for our plants also. It is harmful for the animals also, aquatic animals we can say especially. Okay, aquatic animals also, monuments like Taj Mahal. Nowadays we can say na Taj Mahal beauty has lost somewhere because of this acid rain only. And buildings. These oxide layers in the acid rain will rust our monument, our beauty of the Taj Mahal. Okay, that's why we can say this acid rain are very much harmful for us also. So in the wet or cold region, we can say, in wet or cold region, we can say, cold region. So we can see the acid fogs also. Acid fogs. Fog means dhund. Okay, acid fogs we have seen, as well as we can say acid snows. When the snow falls, it is known as acid snows. Okay, so these contain these acids in nature. So that's why these are very much harmful in nature to all the plants, and most important to the aquatic animals. Okay, so these acid rains, for removing this acid rain, we will have to be very careful. Okay, that's why we can say that in our stomach, which type of acid is present in our stomach? We can say HCl, hydrochloric acid, is present in our stomach. Okay. Similarly, what is the chemical name of common salt? I'm asking one or two questions from you people. That is known as your NaCl. It is the common name of your chemical name of your common salt. And what is the one cause of acid rain? One cause of acid rain is that it makes our monuments, buildings, or we can say corrode, and it is very much harmful for the plants, crops, as well as our aquatic animals. So this complete your acidic part. If you find any of the problem in the acid rain part, you can please ask us from our email ID. You can send your queries, and my email ID is letclasses@gmail.com. And if you find any of the problem, you can send your message on the YouTube video also. So with this, I'm saying thank you so much for your patience, and please share these videos with others also, so that others will also get the chance of learning. Thank you so much.